All right, so we'll go ahead and get started. Just a reminder, this webinar will be recorded. So if you have not done so already, please just go ahead and mute yourself. My name is Lennon Shear. I am the Development and Marketing Manager at Find Me Foundation. And I just want to welcome you to the 2022 M3 campaign webinar kickoff. I am excited to be here with you tonight and teach you a little bit more about the M3 campaign and help you better understand how your chapter can support Find Me Foundation. So tonight we're really going to give you a comprehensive look at the M3 campaign for everything from planning fundraisers to promoting your events on social media to how to send in those contributions. And then at the end, I will be answering questions. So you can just keep those or you can go ahead and send them in the chat, but I will not be monitoring that during the presentation. We will save all of those questions for the end. Okay, so let's begin with an overview of the M3 campaign for those of you who may be learning about this fundraiser for the first time. The M3 campaign is the foundation's largest annual fund campaign each year. It is hosted during the month of March to give a little nod to our founders. And this campaign kicks off on March 1st and runs throughout the whole month of March. It is really encouraging all of our members to support the foundation with a gift of $18.52 or more. This campaign is the only one we host each year that focuses primarily on encouraging our collegiate chapters to become more aware of the foundation and how we support Find Me members. For those of you who volunteer with collegiate chapters or are interested in learning more about how the campaign differs for them, we do encourage all of our collegiate chapters to take the M3 100% challenge, which means that every member of our chapter of our collegiate chapters would participate by fundraising and or making a contribution of $18.52. So you'll see a lot of that language on social media and in our communications in the upcoming months. M3 is a huge driver for the foundation for a couple of reasons. The first and most important is that it helps create awareness about Find Me Foundation during a significant month to our members, the month of our founding. It also helps our members better understand how the foundation supports Find Me's all across the country and even locally in their chapters. Our trustees and staff will spend a good part of the next few weeks, even into February, traveling and doing virtual visits with our collegiate chapters to present the Find Me Foundation program, which is part of their Radiance programs. And that really drives down into how contributions to the foundation are at work each and every day within their chapters and chapters across the country. If you're interested in hosting a foundation volunteer or staff member at one of your alumni chapter meetings, or to do a virtual presentation, a version of this presentation, please send us an email after the webinar tonight, and we will see if we can find someone in your area or someone who has some time to do one of those virtual visits during one of your scheduled meetings. It's really a great opportunity to refresh our alumni on the foundation and all of the good things that we are doing. Another benefit of the M3 campaign is that it allows all members to participate at the low cost of just $18.52. So we really think that's a great and manageable place for our collegiate members and even alumni members to get in the habit of giving to Find Me Foundation. Jesse used to always say this, and I think it is so true. I am a big coffee drinker, so just a few trips a week, if I could just cut that out for 1 week, I would have that $18.52 to donate to the M3 campaign. So I think we can all agree that's pretty manageable, especially when you think about those donations and where they are going, which is to help sisters just like me and you to advance our education and become stronger, more confident leaders. As you may have noticed on that last slide, the motto of the foundation is Sisters Helping Sisters, because that's exactly what we do each and every day through our mission to support the lifetime development of women through the support of FIME's leadership, scholarship, philanthropic and educational programs, and historic preservation. For example, contributions to the foundation help to contribute to leadership and educational programs that you're familiar with, like FIME Officer Academy that is happening right now. You might have noticed that we announced we were able to sponsor the headline speakers at FIME Officer Academy this year. We have had the opportunity to host a few speakers at FIME Leadership Institute and Officer Academy over the years, as well as helping the chapter consultant program and individual chapter funds. Last year, we granted over $200,000 to leadership programs like these and other individual chapter funds to help promote leadership and education with our members. Contributions to the foundation also help to fund academic scholarships for our members. So you might be aware of that as well, since our academic scholarship applications are open right now and close on February 15th. For this past academic year, we awarded 105 scholarships to collegiate and alumni members pursuing their education, totaling more than $173,000. So I'm sure if you're working with our alumni chapters or know anyone in college, you know that the rising cost of tuition at universities everywhere, there is no doubt that these scholarships are an amazing benefit to our members. Another way we are able to lend a helping hand to our members is through our member assistance funds, which feels like they have been very active in the past few years due to natural disasters like wildfires and hurricanes and floods. Members who are facing life-altering circumstances, everything from losing their houses due to natural disasters or medical emergencies. All of those members can apply for assistance through the foundation. Last year, we granted more than $33,000 to help FIMU women get back on their feet. And I just think this is so amazing. It really is something that, you never know when you're going to need it, but it's so amazing to know that FIMU Foundation is there to help you, at any time in your life. And last but not least, your contributions also go towards helping to preserve the 170 years of FIMU history in the Filament Theme Room at the Cannonball House in Macon, Georgia, and here at the national headquarters at the Heritage Museum. We have now entered a new age with our archives, and you might have noticed that FIMU has been promoting its new digital archives through a program called History IT. So that was funded in part by a grant from FIMU Foundation. And if you have not had the chance to go look through that, it really is incredible to see all of that history just in one place, right on your screen. You don't even have to go anywhere. You can just sit at your computer and scroll through it for hours. It's so interesting. All right, so now that you know why we do the M3 campaign and how all of the contributions you raise are used to help fellow sisters, let's talk more about how you can actually participate. It's pretty easy. There are just 2 steps. The first step is to give. We ask that once you've hosted your chapter's fundraisers or you've collected your individual contributions, that you send us 1 check on behalf of your alumni chapter to FIME Foundation, and then submit the M3 remittance form, which can be found on the FIME Resource Hub or on our FIME Foundation document library. So I will show you where those links are in just a minute. So it's a little easier for you to find. If you are sending a check on behalf of your chapter, and there were several members who made individual donations to that contribution, please include a list of names and the amounts so that we can document the soft credit and send those incentives to you. So as you may know, 100 gifts of $100 or more do receive an incentive. So we want to make sure if people are giving $100 or more, they do get that incentive. Only the person or organization who sends in the check will receive the hard giving credit. So that is important to remember. So example for this, if I'm going to use them because they are always in our top chapters, the Chicago West Suburban Alumni. I know that they host fundraisers for us each year and they will send in checks. So if the chapter sends us in a check of $100, the chapter would receive that hard giving credit. If they send us a list and 10 different people gave $10, we would still credit the hard giving credit to the chapter, but we would give each individual a soft credit on your personal FIMU Foundation giving history. So I know that's always a question every year, so we can touch on that later if that did not fully explain everything. But just remember, send in your check and make sure you give us a memo that it's from your chapter and the names of all people who gave to help with that contribution. Also, just another reminder about checks, or if you do make this gift on the FIMU Foundation website, please remember to write in the memo or comment section that this contribution is for your alumni group donation. This will help us tremendously with making sure that we credit your chapter accordingly. All right, and the second step is to promote your participation in the M3 campaign on social media. If you're not already, please follow FIMU Foundation on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all social medias. We really are encouraging everyone to get super social this year. Social media is where we do the bulk of our communications in general, but especially during the month of March for our promotion of M3, we do nearly 100% of our communications on social media. So give us a follow and stay up to date on all of the latest news. We love to see chapters posting their fundraisers. We always repost them to help you with awareness and just to give other chapters ideas about what you are doing. All right, so we have talked a lot about why chapters participate in M3, but I wanted to touch a little more on what you can do to help fundraise during the month if that's what your chapter decides they would like to do. We do recognize that many members of your chapter will just get together and make an individual contribution in honor of your chapter. That is amazing and something we so welcome. We also know that a lot of you love planning those fundraisers and may be interested in doing a combination of both. So we wanted to send you some examples of what chapters have done in the past. And of course, this is just a quick snapshot of some past events. So we know that there are many more out there. And if you have any, you can even drop them in the chat. And maybe it's something that you're doing this year that you're really excited about. You can go ahead and drop that in the chat. I know we've had to kind of change our strategy on how we are doing things. We have seen everything from silent auctions and wine nights to percentage nights at restaurants and retail stores. I know that a lot of retail stores, I know we have seen Kendra Scott, a lot of local restaurants like Chipotle or anything will also do those percentage nights. There are so many quick and easy fundraisers that you can do to help with your chapter's contribution to the M3 campaign. And that will get you so much closer to being in contention for being recognized as the alumni chapter with the overall largest contribution. We have seen some very exciting and creative ways that you can raise funds for your chapter's M3 donations on social media. Here is an example of a Oktoberfest celebration that they were hosting, FIMU Indy was hosting for their new collegiate scholarship. So not for the M3 campaign, but it is something for the foundation. So I just wanted to throw it in here so you could see how they are promoting it on their social media, and they are selling tickets for that event. If you're interested in getting more fundraising ideas, you can visit our Instagram page and go back through our old posts from last year or even this year to see some of the creative fundraising ideas that we've shared in the past years. We do our very best to share almost every single fundraiser that we see supported or see promoted on social media. So that is important that you tag FIMU Foundation and use the hashtag Sisters Helping Sisters. We will be searching that hashtag almost daily just to see if there's anything new. If you do not tag us, we can find it that way as well. But tagging goes straight to our account so we can repost you easily. We have also created a chart that will help you determine a few different fundraising strategies. So we will share that as a resource, and it also is in our document library on our website. All right, so you have gathered all of your funds and you have submitted your donation. Now, what you need to do is fill out the Alumnae Chapter M3 remittance form that is on the FIMU Resource Hub. So you can see that right here. If you go into the Resource Hub, you can search for M3 and that will bring up the remittance form. It is also located on the FIMU Foundation website, which is fimufoundation.org. And if you look in that top right corner, you will see a link to the document library. Okay, so if you would like to make an individual gift, or if you have friends or family that you know would like to make a gift to the M3 campaign, you can do that easily from our website. So it's very simple. Just go to fimufoundation.org/give. You will see a box that says M3 campaign. And when you click on that, it will take you to a page where you can give to the M3 campaign. So when you make a contribution there, you can make it in honor of a collegiate and or alumni chapter. So that will be tallied to the overall fundraising efforts. So note that if you are honoring a collegiate chapter with your contribution, it will not subsidize their 100% participation, but rather gets added to their total amount of funds raised. So my chapter is Kappa Sigma. If Kappa Sigma sends in a check for 100% participation, I'm just going to give an example number, say it's $4,000. Say I give $100, their total within would be $4,100. It does not replace their 100% participation, but my donation would be tallied to their total. Same thing for alumni chapters. If your alumni chapter sends in a check from your fundraiser or however you collected those contributions, any donations that are made on the Give Now page would just be added to that total. So if you have questions about that, let me know. I know this always gets a little confusing. Okay, and lastly, for those of you who may support collegiate chapters, I just wanted to give you a very quick glance at how they can participate, just in case you get any questions and would like to help them. It is a very similar outline, except they have a few more options to give. They can send in one donation on behalf of their chapter to the foundation by a few ways. So one would be online bill pay with Bill Highway. The second would be writing a check. The third would be going through Foundation's Give Now page, which we just talked about for alumni. And that would be using their Bill Highway card as long as it's in with their card limits. So The chapters also know that they are welcome to do a crowd change fundraiser, which I will get into in a minute. If any alumni chapters are interested in doing a crowd change fundraiser, we can absolutely help set that up for you. In addition to helping promote your events through our social media accounts, we also offer a variety of incentives to participate in the M3 campaign. We offer coverage on social media for chapters who fundraise for the M3 campaign, as well as chapters who will receive special recognition during the national convention for their participation. So that will be this summer. And that is always something we love to see, all of the chapters with their M3 badges on their name tags. Perhaps the most exciting incentive is that the alumni chapter with the largest overall contribution to the campaign will receive a choose your own adventure. So we will be offering either a virtual visit from the national president and foundation president during one of your scheduled chapter events. That has changed a little bit. I know it used to be in person, but with COVID, we are currently doing virtual visits for everyone's safety. The other option is going to be a personalized brick on the commemorative terrace at FIMU National Headquarters. So that can really say whatever your alumni chapter would like. This past year, we worked with the top contributing chapter to have their name and year and M3 top contributing chapter placed on that brick. So now forever in that ground, we will see their chapter and their winning year right there on the brick. So that is super fun. So every time you come to the national headquarters, you can see that on that commemorative terrace. A question we get frequently is how can we make the largest overall contribution? And while there is no secret formula, I will tell you that usually we see that chapters who fundraise in addition to the individual donations go the farthest, and they usually end up in our top chapters. Like I said, if you need fundraising ideas, go to our social media, surf through that, and you can also find fundraising ideas on our document library. All right, so this is my personal favorite part, and I'm very excited this year. We're doing something a little different. We usually reveal the new shirt design on the webinar, but this year we are hosting our first ever M3 design t-shirt contest. So the contest will actually opened yesterday. We kicked it off on the collegiate webinar, and it will close on February 14th, 2022. So this is exciting because any FIMU member, collegiate or alumna, can submit a design, and the winning design will be revealed on social media on March 1st, really as a true kickoff to M3. So we are super excited about all of the submissions. We've already had a few come in today, and I'm just really excited to see the creativity of our members. Just a reminder that individual gifts of $100 or more to the M3 campaign will receive this limited edition t-shirt that we will be announcing on March 1st. All right, so we have talked a lot about how you are supporting the foundation with your contribution to M3. Now, here are a few ways that we can help you as you plan for your chapter's participation in the M3 campaign. There will be lots of communications coming over the next few months, including emails. So make sure that you are adding FIMU Foundation to your safe senders list. So that is foundation@fimu.org. And as I said earlier, follow us on social media because that is the platform we will use the most to communicate with our members. We will be posting our top 3 collegiate and alumni chapters per area each day on our M3 page on the website. So that is something that really is Sorry, there's a helicopter. Sorry about that. So on the website, we will be updating the top 3 collegiate and alumni chapters per area each day. So each business day. So you can really click around and see which chapters are doing the most for the M3 campaign. And I think it's a great way to see, kind of where your chapter falls. We also hope that promoting 3 chapters per area really sees, the diverse amount of chapters that we have that are raising funds for the M3 campaign. We'll also be able to click around on the map to see what chapters have participated or even fundraised. So that's fun as well. This year, we're aiming for at least 8 of our alumni chapters to participate in the M3 campaign and 132 of our collegiate chapters to participate at 100%, all to meet our goal of $290,000. So we are really excited to meet and exceed these goals with your support. Okay. We talked about this a few times, but I wanted you to see one of the best places you can find resources is the Find Me Foundation document library. There you will find an entire M3 campaign toolkit that you can use, which will include social media graphics, informational flyers, as well as the fundraising guide, which is new this year. So that has, really everything all in one: social media posts, examples, and fundraising tips and tricks. So really, I would take advantage of all of those resources that you can find there. I know we have talked a lot about social media tonight, but as a reminder, the M3 campaign is primarily driven through digital and social media. So we are encouraging all of you to promote your foundation fundraisers and general support of the M3 campaign on your social media accounts. Be sure to tag us at Find Me Foundation and use our hashtag Sisters Helping Sisters so that we can track along with you and share your posts from our account. So effective use of social media really is a top priority for the M3 campaign for us. We just love to showcase your creativity with these chapters and all of the fun things that they are doing on social media. All of these fundraisers that are online now because of COVID. It's just really fun to see the engagement. One more thing before we close out is the crowd change link. So some of you may be familiar with crowd change because that is where we do our day of giving and our care incarnations. But we really want to help you out in any way that we can. And crowd change has the ability to open fundraisers. So if your alumni chapter is interested in doing a crowd change fundraiser, please reach out to me and we can set you up with a page where your chapter would be able to fundraise for the M3 campaign. So all of those donations would still come directly into us, but your chapter, you'd be able to see how much your chapter has raised collectively. So if you have anything, any fundraising ideas, or you would just like to start a virtual fundraiser, please let me know and I can help you facilitate that. All right, so in closing, I hope that all of you have a better understanding of how Find Me Foundation supports our members and how your contributions to the M3 campaign directly impact the lives of other Find Me's each and every day by investing in the lifetime development of women. At this time, I will open it up for any questions. Okay, let's see. The question we have right now is, can an alumni chapter make a donation online instead of sending in a check? Yes, you can. Amy, do you want to talk a little bit more about this and the best way that you would like to see that?
Sure. Yes, alumni chapter can definitely be make a donation online. Really going to the website, going through the donation portion of the website, and coming to the M3, and then you're gonna really just pick, just walk through it. Pick the alumni chapter. You can also designate it to a collegiate chapter as well. It will, obviously you'll be using a credit card. So sometimes alumni chapters use an individual's credit card. So you're going to be putting in that individual's name. So in the comment section, just making sure that you're noting that alumni chapter, because again, you'll want that alumni chapter to get that credit. Other than that, that's really the easiest way to do it. And any other information, that you need us to have, using that comment section is just the best way. I look at that when any of those donations come through. So if there's any other additional information you want us to have when you're making that donation, using that portion. But other than that, yeah, you can definitely make it online.
Yes, Amy. And then will you just describe real quick the difference between hard and soft credit? That I know that's always a question we get, what the difference between hard and soft credit is, and the main difference between that tax off writability.
Yeah, and I really think this is also a personal preference too. So thinking about it this way, especially with alumni. So with the chapter, we will get checks from the chapter's accounts, and obviously if it's, say, Baton Rouge chapter, it will go from their checking account. They get the hard credit. If they send us a list of all the alumni members that made that contribution to make up that check, we will give them soft credit. Now, this soft credit goes towards their lifetime giving. So that is where we put it towards your lifetime giving. That'll get you towards that next giving level, towards charms, recognition at convention, things like that. But then if you're looking for that tax write-off, you really want the hard credit. So if you really want the tax write-off, so again, on your tax mailer, you want it in that sense, then you kind of want to make the contribution in your name, and then give the alumni chapter can get the soft credit. So there's still the option of saying, hey, Amy Moore has sent in the M3 contribution, but I want the Peachtree City alumni chapter to have the soft credit for it, or for it to go to their M3 total. That is very doable. So, kind of noting those when you send them in, we can kind of make that happen. So I think it's important to just kind of figure out, and some are kind of interchangeable in that way. I think the larger the donation is, the more you are going to want that that individual to get the credit, to get the hard credit in that sense. And so we try to do it that way, so that they are getting the tax statement at the end of the year and able to take that off of their taxes.
Yes, I would just explain it like either way, you give through the chapter itself if you come together and do a group donation, or through your individual. Both of those donations are going to be credited to the chapter, as long as you let us know which chapter you would like us to credit that to. So it really just depends if you do want that tax deduction, which then we recommend giving that personal donation. We do have one more question. It says, for an alumni chapter, what is considered 100% participation? So this one is interesting, and we have kind of changed our strategy on this the past few years, really. We obviously, there is no 100% participation, because the numbers are often different than our collegiate 100% participation numbers, because that is a set number by their campus total. So that is, that does not move. The way we would look at alumni chapter 100% participation is looking at either if you have membership dues within your chapter. So, our chapter definitely has 20 people, and all 20 people have committed to that 100% participation, which would be $18.52 at a minimum. So we would consider that 100% participation for alumni chapters. Or if just a big group of you come together and say, 15 people from the alumni chapter are giving in we took donations and we're sending in that as a collective donation to the M3 campaign, we really take that as 100% as well. So we would list you as a 100% chapter on our website. So really, if we're getting in any fundraisers or a collection of donations from a chapter, we kind of just count all of that as 100% participation and list you in the alumni chapters that have participated on our website. So I think that's the main thing. You're just getting that recognition on the website and, you know, wherever else we send that out. So social media and at convention, we would just recognize the chapters. All right. Are there any other questions? Okay, not seeing any, we will go ahead and wrap up. Thank you all for attending. And we will be sending this out, a recording of this. So if you know anyone that wanted to join and couldn't make it tonight, let them know that they can either check their email and we'll send that out in the next week, or they can find it on the document library. All right, thank you, everyone.